we're live. Hello, everyone. Welcome to our live chat tonight. Happy Sunday. It's August 11th, almost halfway through August already, which feels illegal, but okay. So yeah, thank you for joining us today. We're going to talk a little bit about a writing event that I'm excited about. I've been wanting to do something like this for a while. So we're going to go over kind of all of that and then just talk a little bit about like what we're working on creatively coming up. And at the end, depending on how long it takes, we might do like a brainstorming sprint. So have some stuff nearby and ready if you want to brainstorm what you want to do in September after we've talked about all of this. Hello, everyone. Say hi in the chat if you're here. If you have any questions as we're going through, feel free to put them in the chat and I will answer them. So yeah, let me get my slides up. All right. It's fall. Well, it's fall in my heart because it's August. It's 100 degrees in Florida. But
it started to feel like fall today here. It was wild.
Well, I'm so happy for you.
Just like that wind changing kind of day.
Yeah, I went out in a turtleneck yesterday. It was so hot outside, but I was like, it's autumn in my heart. School starting back for people who are students. I don't know if anyone watching here is a student still. And so, yeah, we've been talking about wanting to harness that energy of getting a lot of writing done, like we often do in November, except for November's not really an ideal time with like lots of holidays coming up and stuff. And so, yeah, we were wanting to do a fun little writing event in September. And so I thought it would be fun for it to have a back to school theme, but back to writing. So welcome to orientation. Andrew said autumn is a feeling in Florida. Yeah, it really is. All right, let's go in. So if you somehow have stumbled upon us, hi. We are some of the Word Nerds. There's usually anywhere from 3 to 6 of us doing live chats every Sunday. We've been talking about writing and books on the internet for a decade, and we've collaborated a lot with writing events and applications and stuff like Nano, For the Words, Everywhere Book Festival, and NovelPad. And so we wanted to take some of the things we've learned there and apply them to a writing event in the month of September for our community. And like I said, tap into the back to school vibes and get work done on our books and creative projects. Yes, Ms. CK, I will include these slides in I've got a list of like resources that I'm going to put in chat at the end of this.
Don't you worry, Megan has gone above and beyond.
I have never been chill and I never plan to be, even as I say, this one's going to be a chill one.
I feel like you had like a decent run of like being chill and stepping back and not taking things on. And this feels like a stepping back
depressive disorder.
Yeah, like this feels like who you're supposed to be.
This is me in my heart, yeah. So about the event, there's going to be a few elements to it. We'll be having write-ins every Sunday in September. I've also got check-ins scheduled daily for our Word Nerds Discord, and we'll do weekday word sprints. Probably not every weekday because that would be a lot, but I'm planning to do at least once a week, and anyone who's in the Discord can run sprints if they're around. And yeah, overall, just being able to be there, get that, it's almost autumn energy, cheer for each other. Yeah, so I think it's going to be really fun. So we've got, since it's school themed, we've got a little year directory where you can kind of pick your year. We've got freshmen. This is your first drafting or you're preparing to first draft. I didn't add that there, but if you're plotting, definitely include yourself as a freshman. If you are a sophomore, then you are working on developmental edits. You might be in the middle of them. It doesn't have to be you're fresh starting out. but you're working on those big tear your book apart, put it back together kinds of edits. Junior year, you might already be deep in the edits cave and you are at the stage where you're ready to get your book prepared for publishing or to go on submission with it, either to agents, to publishers. And then senior, I wanted to have something in here. I know everyone's creativity, writing-wise, kind of ebbs and flows. And so I wanted to have an option for people who really, they just aren't in the right headspace to be writing. And that is senior year. If that's you, you're going to pick a non-writing related creative project, kind of like you've got like senioritis almost. So yeah, be thinking about what you want to work on in September and what year you think you might classify yourself as. I know I thought I was going to be a freshman, but no, I'm just right back to junior year with a project I thought was going to be done. So like I mentioned, we're going to be doing a lot of all the check-ins and everything on the weekdays in our Discord. I know how to function inside of a Discord server, but I'm not fantastic at getting people into it. So I got an invite link that I'll also put in the chat that should theoretically work for the next 7 days. But if that doesn't work for you, you can also add Kelly, whose username is a tiny disaster, and she can get you in. She owns the server technically. So yeah, that's our Discord.
I think theoretically any of the word nerds have the power to add someone, but
really,
just do it. Yeah.
I'll keep an eye on it too then. Misty Kate said I might be a sophomore being held back in my freshman year. Catherine said, love the senioritis reference. Andrew said, oh, great. It says in September after I do back to school at my job.
I love the timing of it. I think it's the back to school energy. Like, I miss that. Oh, man.
They have all these cute notebooks.
Yeah, like, if I could find a way to buy myself back to school supplies as a result of this.
I went to Target this week. They have the cutest, you're not going to be able to see it well because I'm so small on the left, but they have the cutest notebooks right now at Target.
I'm so sad.
And there were so many, but I couldn't rationalize spending like $100 on notebooks. 17 of them.
Yeah, I'm currently packing because I'll be moving in September and having to come face to face with how many notebooks I have to move that don't have anything in them. But no,
I've also, let me stop sharing my screen for a second. Hopefully it's going to be a lot of fun. Let me know, like I mentioned, if you have any questions or any ideas. We've never done anything like this before. So if there's anything you'd love to see in this, definitely let me know. I also did compile these like, oh, my thing is reconnecting. Hang on. Okay, I can share my screen for this too, actually. I made these little like syllabi for each year.
You're a giant nerd, and I love you very much.
Yes. So we've got one for freshmen, and they've all got a section of old Word Nerds videos and books and other poster videos. Most of the other poster videos, I'm going to be honest, they all have Susan Dennard in them. No one does free online writing advice better than Susan Dennard, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So we've got one for freshmen, which is, are you working on getting words on the page for the first time for this project? Then this is the year for you. Whether it's your first novel or your 15th, the first drafting phase is always a unique challenge, but we're here to cheer you on as you get your novel from your head to the page. And we've got a few of the videos from our old Preptober series back in 2020. We went really in depth that year, and I really like all of those videos. And then the next year we did a plot and structure deep dive. And then Emma had a really good video on drafting long, complex novels. So I included that as well. We've got sophomore year.
This is amazing.
So for people doing developmental edits, you've got the first draft done and you're looking to get it into the right shape before you can really polish it and make it shine. So refining arcs, smoothing plot holes, tackling major word count cuts or rewrites. This is the year for you. Got some videos on revisions. Erin had a good one on like editing mistakes that she makes often starting out. Got some books, some more Susan Dennard. I also really like Jessica Brody's post on the most organized way to revise a novel. She's the one who wrote Save the Cat Writes a Novel. And then junior year, we've got all about getting ready for your post-high school or post-college experience, taking tests, doing internships, all that great hard work that's going to pay off really soon. So we've dedicated junior year to those writers who are polishing their books to get them ready for pub or sub. You could be multiple rounds into revisions, working on the edits, or getting your sub package and querying list ready. And so I've got some recommendations there. And lastly, senior year, you're working on a non-writing creative pursuit this September. Some might call it senioritis, but we know that taking breaks when needed and broadening yourself creatively are both critical parts of being a writer. So we've got some Word Nerds videos on just like general inspiration, some great books on, habit setting and what it means to be an artist. And yeah, again, Susan Dennard, because honestly, she's amazing. So yeah, I'm really excited. That's the gist of it. I will get together all of the links so that you can save copies of these to your computers if you would like them, if they'll be helpful. You don't have to use them at all, but if you want them, they're there for you. And yeah, we're just gonna kind of chat for the rest of the chat about like how things are going, what we're working on, and then we're gonna do brainstorming sprint, so you can maybe think a little bit about what you want to work on and how this might apply for you. So I wanted to kick it off just by asking, like, where are you guys at creatively right now? How are you feeling moving into the end of the year? Just opening with like a really big one.
You gave us plenty of warning. Although technically you posed a different question when you warned us. So
that's true. I had that question too. Do you want to start with that one? Do you have something in mind you want to work on in September?
Yes. We can start with that one.
Leah, I imagine you're just gonna keep chugging away on what you're doing.
Yeah, pretty much. Yep. I finally finished chapter 20, so that's behind me. But yeah, I think this book, as of right now, I keep adding chapters, but as of right now, it's gonna be 35. So I've got a little ways to go.
Nice. I'm not totally sure. Even as we've been talking about this, I've had a couple different ideas in my head. Although one other idea before I forget is that if I can't totally commit to it yet, but I'd love to run like a weekly study hall or something in the Discord where people get to like come with their questions or like just
that would
plot
be so
problems.
fun. I'm gonna write that down.
I like that, Kelly.
I just know I'm going to be so like scattered, getting ready to move and then moving and all that. But like, I want to do it. And like, theoretically, there's no reason I can't. I'm afraid of commitment right now, but.
Oh, I forgot to mention this too. I'm also going to have a bingo card.
Ooh.
Just as like a side thing. Because bingo cards are fun.
So yeah, part of me wants to like start, like take the month and really work on brainstorming because I haven't written in a really long time. Part of me, and I've been flirting with this for a while, is like going back to the Refilling Your Inkwell book I wrote a long time ago and like updating it significantly. So I feel like that I've learned a lot more about that than I have about writing in the last little while. But I do want to write something. I just, again, fear of commitment of like just having started a new job, moving in 30 days. Like, but I do tend to do best when I have more things on my plate. So I don't know. Ask me again in 20 minutes.
Yeah. After the brainstorming sprint. Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna.
The other thing I was thinking as we were talking about this that I'd love to, maybe we do this next year if we make it like, okay, grow it a little bit. I'd love to like come up with like schoolhouses kind of thing of like for writing styles. When I worked at For the Words,
fun.
I came up with like the 4, I don't even remember what they were, but I like came up with like writing houses that now that I don't work at For the Words anymore, I've lost that.
I actually started using For the Words again recently.
I've thought about it.
Because they just switched to a like monthly subscription plan, and they sent out an email being like, if you buy crystals now, we'll roll them over. And they got me with that. So good. I was like, yeah, I'll buy crystals. I wrote like 5,000 words in 3 days.
Oh, wow.
Oh, nice.
They really got me.
It is a great system. Like,
it is.
And I'm sure there's a lot of new stuff since any of us were last writing over there.
It reminds me too about how on Nano you could like pick badges. That would be like, oh, this is what I'd like to do. Trying to get those slides uploaded really quick. I have 2 saved with the exact same name because I opened it up 5 minutes before the chat started and realized that I had forgotten to replace a few of the images. And so it was just stock images of these like teacher looking people. And I can't go live like that.
Oh, so if we did something like a study hall, but like time of day, make the most sense. It could just be a channel, but I feel like I'm not as likely to actually like show up and check in.
Yeah. I'm the wrong person to ask. I work from home and my job's really flexible. So I can do just about whenever, as long as it's not morning Eastern time. That's when all my meetings are.
Wednesday? Midweek? Maybe?
Midweek is good.
Like afternoon or evening, I'm less likely to show up.
Sure. Could be afternoon.
Yeah, let's do afternoon. Write that down.
And it could be like a larger block of time of like not a set, just a study hall. You show up at any time when the door's unlocked. And
yeah.
You can bring snacks.
I think we should lock the channel. Study hall's over.
And yeah, there's no really we have a channel for it. There's no reason someone can't post a question or anything at any point. Maybe it turns into more of that. It's just I'll try to commit to like Wednesday afternoons.
Love it.
Try to commit. This as far as I'm getting.
Yes.
Yeah.
An attempt will be made.
Sorry, I'm trying to get this PDF thing without like uploading the wrong thing.
I really like the idea of going back and watching some of our videos. It has been a long time. I know there's a lot of good advice in there.
I was realizing going through it, we have a huge gap in live chats on revisions. So I feel like we should I couldn't believe it. I feel like all I ever am doing is revising and all I'm ever talking about is revising. But we actually have so many videos on plotting and not a lot on editing your novel.
That's surprising.
I know. So I'd definitely love to do one of those soon. Share. With the link can view. Okay, there we go. Now I've got everything. All the links are in the chat now. And I need the Discord.
And Griswold, I like that you're jumping between 2 different stories, whichever one you have ideas for each week, because that also feels very freshman-like to be like, I'm going to do this week.
Yes. Yeah. I know for me for September, when I first came up with this idea about 2 months ago, I was like, I'm going to be done by then for sure with the 2 different books that I was in the middle of the revisions process on. and I did finish the revisions on one of them, and then immediately got an R&R on it, which is exciting, but does mean that it's pretty significant changes. So I'm going to have to go back, and that's what I'm going to spend September working on. I am still moderately hopeful I can finish the revisions on the other book before then. We'll see. But yeah, so I guess that puts me as a junior.
Nice.
Yeah. I have more questions.
When do we get to see the bingo card?
I'll maybe put it on the Instagram next week.
Okay. Build up the suspense.
Because it's not done.
Fair.
So if anyone has suggestions for anything you particularly would like to see on the bingo sheet, let me know. And I can still add it.
What kind of stuff? Like, give me a sense of the vibe of the card. Like, what kind of things? Cause like, with everyone being in different years, I'm not sure how you're like structuring it.
Yeah, I'm going to have a little bit of everything. I'm not going to have like no writing squares on it just because some people won't be doing writing. But just having things like, finish a chapter, whether you can draft a new chapter, you can edit a chapter, reach the 50% mark of your goal. All of the goals are you pick, but I do personally recommend picking a goal for the month, something tangible so that you can keep track of how it's going. I know for me, the goal is going to be one new round of revisions. And so I'm going to break that down into, there's 42 chapters. How many chapters is that per week? Go do something new to get inspired.
Do you have a middle thing?
I don't yet.
Because like that could just be like setting a goal, like have a goal for yourself.
Yeah. Perfect.
It's like a gimme, but it's something you got to do.
Yeah. I'll probably put join the Discord on it.
Go to a study hall. Now that it's a thing I invented.
Yeah.
That I'm definitely going to do.
And Griswold is an interesting idea.
If you don't go, then you can't mark it off of the bingo sheet, Kelly.
And I live for a bingo sheet, so.
Oh, that's a really good one. Nicole said, take an AP course and complete a task from the year above your grade.
I also love her idea of doing icebreakers at each study hall.
Yes. I love this. Okay. I'm so excited for this.
Although mine, I feel like I'd lean less like something writing related, like the 6-word story, and just like do the awkward icebreakers that I hated, but it's fun because it's you guys.
Yes.
If you could be a fish, what fish would you be?
Oh.
Like, I just wanted to know something cool everyone did on their summer vacation. It was fine by me.
Well, yeah, that would fit the back to school theme a bit better to ask about summer vacation rather than.
But what fish do you want to be, Leah?
Yeah, do you have an answer for this already?
Oh boy.
All I can think about are fish now. Red snapper.
Like a swordfish would be fun.
Yeah.
Goldfish.
Ooh, goldfish. Classic.
There's like a nursery that I used to really like going to, and they have like a pond full of koi fish, and those fish always seemed real happy.
No, yeah.
My burden was going to the Ted Lasso, be a goldfish of like, just forget past mistakes, be goldfish. They are the happiest. They're just not thinking about all of the best stuff.
I'm pausing to take notes on everything too.
Andrew says, I'm very excited, but my writing life is in shambles. I don't know what direction to go in. I am right there with you. Please feel free to share as much as you want, and we can brainstorm, commiserate, whatever. I don't know. This event is so exciting for me, of like, compared to Nano, of like, there's no pressure to go meet other people in your neighborhood. This is all just people I like already. So I did enjoy the making new writing friends from Nano, but I don't know, just having an us activity sounds fun.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like I'm on the upswing of like my writing life. If you'd asked me a year ago, my writing life was in shambles. Absolutely. Unfortunately for me, it just needed time. I think that's probably.
I feel like I'm
the
headed
case
there.
for
I
most
want to
people.
be where you are in a year. Kind of thing. I'm currently in my reading again phase.
Yeah.
Hopefully the writing again phase comes soon.
One of the things I put on my 2024 bingo sheet was I read a lot of audiobooks, but I don't read very many physical books anymore. And I felt like that muscle was like getting weak. And so my goal this year has been to read 12 physical books in addition to any audiobooks that I read. And it's been really nice. I feel like I'm getting better at it again.
You weren't here last week. Do you know how fast Leah read House of Leaves?
You've read House of Leaves already?
Yeah.
How fast did you read it?
Well, it was due back. There were holds on it, so I had to read it kind of quickly. I'm going to go back to Goodreads and see what my start time was.
Okay, but you read it in like library book time.
Yeah. But I agreed with your review 100%. I did not like Johnny Truitt's.
What was the point of him?
No, are you right? Like, other than to frame the story, I was like, "There's no use to you, sir."
Yeah,
like,
I read this.
He was important. His like side thoughts were dumb.
Yeah.
Sorry, we keep reviewing this book every week. But...
again and again and again. Like we are in the house.
We have not escaped.
And we never will. I read last week, this was when I listened to Paul Tremblay's horror movie. And I really, really liked the audiobook. I think I probably would have hated the book if I'd read it in physical copy. Even in the narrative, the narrator is saying like, I'm adapting my story of this movie I worked on for an audiobook. And the audiobook has a full cast. It has like an audiobook narrator for the main guy, but then there's these other voice actors where they're actors playing the actual actors in the book as they do the film. And it's got, when you're reading, visualizing actual parts of the film, it has like a score and everything. It was a really cool audiobook. Highly recommend. And it did, every now and then I was like, is this like Paul Tremblay's House of Leaves that he came up with while he was on the set of Knock at the Cabin? Just this like meta, the movie's cursed, it's seeping into real life sort of. So I really enjoyed the audiobook.
Nice. I cannot see how to figure out when I started reading House of Leaves, but I finished it on the 26th of July. So
nice.
Yeah.
I'm still about halfway through, so I am reading it more regularly again. And Emma did pick it up last week.
Oh, cool.
So she finished working in her office.
Yeah. By like January, we'll actually be able to sit down and have a full everyone talk about it, and then we'll realize we've actually already discussed everything. Yeah. I would love to be a successful enough author someday that I could have that sort of like artistically made book. I want a shot at something like that someday.
Yeah.
We talked a bit about that, I think, when I was in Florida, and then a little bit before when we were like rewatching Hill House and like wanting to write something like that one day. And ever since then, I've been thinking about like how cool it'd be to do something like Hill House in a video game format where you get to just like watch it, but also I need to find a way to make it a game before it not that I could ever make it, but for the idea to come together in my head, like it'd be so cool to have like maybe you are the ghosts somehow interacting, and like you can see everybody living their lives and stuff, and like finding ways to make it do the things that like Hill House did and House Leaves have done. They're just like weird stuff because of the format.
I saw a preview that came out last
project, Kelly.
Yeah.
Maybe this could be your September project, brainstorming more of this.
Yeah, but then I had no idea how to actually make that be a thing. So
I saw a preview for a movie, I think last week, the preview dropped, where it's a horror film that's completely from the POV of the monster.
Oh, cool.
Like the preview looked like third person, like monsters in the house sort of thing. And it looked interesting. I wish I could remember what it was called. I know I'll see the preview again before the movie comes out, and then I'll be like, oh yeah, that's the one. I'll go see that. Does anyone have any new publishing goals as we're approaching the end of the year? Like anything you're hoping to accomplish by the end of the year?
Be great to have this draft finished. I feel like I say that every year, but like, yeah, that's what.
And it would be great.
It would be. How many chapters do you have planned?
35, and I'm on 21 right now. So
nice.
Yeah.
I believe.
Thank you. Also, and Griswold, you're on fire with these suggestions for the bingo card.
Yes.
I feel like last time when we talked about, like, earlier this year, we talked about, like, what we're going to do instead of Nano or whatever, and Nicole was the one who was like, if you guys do an event, I'm so in, and she has showed up and proved it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Adopt a plot bunny. What's the etymology? Does anyone know the etymology of plot bunny?
No, but I think it'd be fun to look it up.
I feel like the bunnies multiplying probably played a part.
Yeah,
probably.
Like, the number of plot bunnies could get out of hand very easily. That's the headspace I want to get back to, and like that I need in order to like really head into this with like the direction of like more ideas than I know what to do with, and it's just so hard to get that going again. I mean, I would also settle for one idea that I'm deeply passionate about, but I have never accomplished that at any point in my career. So
yeah, I would love a 7-figure book deal still. I would settle for 6, but
you would settle for 4.
I would settle for a handshake and my book on a shelf, but they don't need to know that. No, my big thing is I would love to finish my revisions by the end of September, because then I would have just enough time to write a new draft at the speed that I typically write a first draft. Because if I don't finish a first draft, this will be, I think, the first year in a long time that I haven't written a new first draft. So, and I'd love to have something on deck.
About like Nano and the accountability that came from that, and then like what you want to do with this in September as a community, what is most helpful for you to help you like achieve those goals? What are you hoping this will be? Good and if worst case, I decide I have no goals, what can I do to drag you across your finish line?
Yeah. I know for me, it's just like regular check-ins, which is, I've gotten really into scheduling things on Slack and Discord now. And so knowing that like, even if there's just like a couple other people in there also doing it at the same time and expecting me to be there doing it with them, I know for me personally, that's the most helpful. I don't know about for other people. Let us know.
What is that wonderful website that does the graphs?
No, not Storygraph. Pacemaker?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because like for Nano, I love the graphs. I love like seeing something concrete to show me my progress.
Yeah. Oh, that was something I wanted to Markdown was like a list of resources for like where you could set a goal and mark down your progress, since we don't have anything like that.
And I've started using Todoist again after like a very long time away. So I think I'd probably, like, if it's not something that like it's going to be words written that I can do in Pacemaker, I'll probably set it up as like sub goals in there.
Yeah. I want to look into this a little more and see like can we make like a pacemaker that people can share with each other, or get it into Notion or something where people could make Notion pages to track their project.
Yeah, because I did love being able to see like friends' progress and stuff. And there's so many tools, like free tools that exist. It's just finding the right ones.
Yeah, that we can onboard people into fairly easily. I know I'm going to do a video, a really short one, to stick in the Discord that's just a screen share of like how to run the writing sprints in the Discord, because I really want everyone to be able to do that if they want to. But I know sometimes the bots can be have a little bit of a learning curve. Mercy recommended For the Words. Yes, I do love For the Words. And I quite like a lot of the changes that they've made to the website since like the last time we were all working with them. There's a lot of cool new stuff on the UI and everything.
I guess I really like that question I posed to Megan is open to everybody. Of like, how can a community help you reach your goals? I want to know.
I think that's been like the hat trick we keep trying to master with the Word Nerds. Is like, how can we be most useful, but still have like a good time? Just get to talk about the things we're interested in.
Andrew, I'm curious, the two projects you mentioned, is one further developed than the other, or are they both at the same point?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes, TPing is a thing still.
This is incredible.
Is it a Canadian thing, Kelly, to TP people's houses?
I'm aware of it, but probably because of American media, I have no recollection of it ever happening.
Gotcha.
We did that multiple times when I was a young teenager.
I never participated in it, but I was TP'd, so.
Do you ever like, is it still a thing? Will you just be like driving by and you'll see someone's house has toilet paper on it?
I don't think
keep an eye out this September.
I haven't noticed. When I was a kid, I only ever did it with like a community.
Or like, it could be October. It's whenever homecoming is, usually.
Oh. Yeah, we don't have that.
At least in my area. I don't know about for you, Megan, if it was tied to a certain time of year.
I was raised in a high demand religion. And sometimes for activities, we would just go prank some of the religious leaders. So there were like adults there sanctioning it.
Pranks with permission.
Yeah, it was a permissioned prank. They wouldn't be expecting it unless they were, and then they would get you back. So one of my few like fond memories. I think my mom and my grandpa are both like very prankster types of people. So very like,
I feel like pranks in general to me feel like something that like either exists in TV or in America more than it does in real life.
Yeah. Or like growing up in Florida, college football and like the UF FSU rivalry is really big. So like if FSU beat UF, someone would come and spray paint the FSU logo on my mom's grass or something. Like they're very back and forth.
The culture around any of that stuff is just very different here. Like no one is that committed to any school that they went to. Both in the same, Andrew said, I think both projects are in the same place development wise. Should we do like a 10-minute brainstorming sprint? 10 or 15, I guess.
I was thinking
we said we were going to do it. Like, we're like, oh, this is actually flying by faster than I expected.
It is. I got through the PowerPoint so fast, I was like, oh my God, oh no. Let's do a 10-minute brainstorming sprint for anyone who wants a little time. Just to think about like what could you work on. So for example, Andrew, you've got like these 2 projects. Is there one that's more exciting to you? Is there something that's neither of those 2 projects that would be like refreshing to work on? So for anyone, we'll do 10 minutes. I'll put that on the clock and then we can check back in. And if you already know kind of what you want to work on, maybe get started on making a map of what that looks like for you. What's your goal going to be? That way we can get that free space marked off early. I'll put a timer on and we will get started. time. I found out Pacemaker has group challenges. So we can set up a group event and then we can see each other's, and it says that everyone can set their own goals. So I will research that this week and make sure we have a little group set up over there. Again, that's called Pacemaker. It's pacemaker.press is the website. So definitely check that out if you haven't yet. I will get instructions all put together. Nicole said, who's good at creating playlists? Let's have a Spotify playlist based on genre, moods, or something else story related. Maybe based off your year. Write that down.
What's involved in making the Spotify playlist that the three of us have with Kyra?
That I think you just make a blend, like you and me could make a blend, and then we could send a link to people, and they could join the blend if they wanted to.
I don't know. I always enjoy just exploring what music other people
What's
that I
everyone
like are
else listening to.
Yeah,
I'd like that.
It'd also be something I don't know, we would have a shared playlist only for people who use Spotify, but writing sprints, we could all start the playlist at the same time if we want to or something.
Fun. Yeah.
Same playlist. But I don't know. I also don't hate the idea of just making a custom playlist because I enjoy playlists.
See, I also, during that sprint, I mapped out I think there's going to be 44 chapters and then 8 of these interlude things. And so how many of those would I need to do per week? And then factoring in I have a child. So realistically, how many of those can I get done on a Saturday?
Yeah, I counted it out, and if I wanted to try and finish this draft by the end of the year, I would probably set a goal of writing 4 chapters in September. So I think that's what I'll go for, even though realistically it's probably going to be at minimum 1.
Ooh, Andrew said, I've decided I need to go the Megan method and make PowerPoints. Yes, unhinged PowerPoint. We did one of those with Kyra while we were all in Texas. She made a PowerPoint.
Did you make any decisions, Kelly?
No. Okay. But it was really good to have even just designated thinking time. 10 minutes, just sit there and think about the thing.
Yeah.
This
I feel you mentioned oh, sorry, go ahead. Finish what you were saying.
Just focus on thinking about it, really. That's it. It was just
Yeah. I feel that's such a huge element for me of this community productivity that we've tried to foster over here is just, if we're not in a chat, I don't have an hour to just sit to myself and think about writing on Sunday nights. I'm doing something else, even if it's relaxing in a different way. And so I love having just okay, for September, every Sunday I'm going to be writing.
I think for the rest of the month, I will also try to build up my remembering to check the Discord muscle as well.
Yes, everyone practice. We'll tell Erin to turn on her notifications for just the Discord. Nicole said, I wrote a few things I know work best for me, no Saturdays, my exact opposite, which is only Saturdays, trying to make a chain. And I decided to try to use a dry erase board like I did when I was in school. I have one of those right over there. I love a dry erase board.
I gave mine a really good clean this weekend, with an alcohol wipe, and it's brand new. But I think it's going to be projects for when we get to the house, not writing. So
yeah. We bought a big calendar dry erase for when we bought this house. Because it was like, we need to know exactly when we need to be doing all this stuff. Yeah, I would recommend, if anyone's thinking about doing this, one of the things that I decided to do at the last second in that sprint was, what do I need to have done in the like 3 weeks between now and then so that I can get started on that day. So I had things like, oh, I got to finish this new synopsis, get the new synopsis approved. I want to give that person like a week to look at it at least. So like, what date does that have to be done? All of that. Research some stuff that I know I'm going to fall down a research rabbit hole on day one if I don't research it beforehand. Should probably budget in some like Pinterest board time, you know.
Nice.
You know, critical writing stuff.
Yes, it's all part of the process.
Yeah. All right, well, we are coming right up on an hour here. So I think I'm going to wrap us up unless anyone has anything else they want to add.
No, this was excellent. I'm very excited.
Yeah.
I'm also so excited. I've already added the links that I put in the chat also in the description. So if after this, if you're watching after the fact or you come back later and you realize like, I don't want to scroll through the chat to find them, they are in the description box now as well, down below. And yeah, this week I will get together, I'll research Pacemaker and get a group challenge going there. And I will put the information in the Discord. So don't forget to get yourself added to the Discord. I'll also post it in the community tab here because I know most of us are already on YouTube a lot. So I'll post it here too so it doesn't get missed. And yeah, be sure, I never say this, but be sure you've subscribed to this channel so that we can see more of you in September if you aren't already subscribed. Yeah. I'm super excited. Thank you so much for being here, everyone, and for all of your amazing ideas. And yeah, we will be back next week with a write-in, so you can plan some of this stuff. And then in 2 weeks, we've got our writing advice bracket night that we've got to put together, but it's going to be really fun, I think. So a lot of great things on the horizon. Thank you, everyone, for being here. We'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.